Everyone, I know you were looking for the Zoom meeting, but due to connectivity issues that night, it's not that hard to understand or not that easy to understand. So I'm doing this instead. Okay, the first thing I'm going to go over is the Photoshop dates. So I've already changed them, the due dates in the modules. Let me go over here and I'll show you. So let's go to module, go to the Photoshop module first. All right, so on your poster, your critique 1 is now due November 7th. All right, so that is this coming week. Then your final critique is not due until the 14th. So I've bumped those back. I've also updated the outline, the outlines in the syllabus. So there is a new schedule out that you can look at that as well. But I've got it over here to the left. So here we go. We are just finished up week 10, starting week 7. So your critique 1 is due on the 7th, which is Tuesday. That is where, if you haven't already done that, you put your poster picture, post your poster in the discussion board, and you need to comment on at least 2 other posters using the critique information on that assignment. So let me open this up. All right, so this is your first version. All right, and you must comment on these 2 posters using these things while you're critiquing, okay? Be professional. And some of you have already done this, and I got to tell you, they're looking really good. So make sure everybody gets theirs in no later than the 7th. All right, the second critique, which is your final critique, is not due until the 14th. That'll give you more time to finalize up anything that you discuss in here that you want to change up, or you just want to tweak a few things. That is going to be considered your final poster. All right, so there's no assignment tab where you are going to upload your poster like you did for your InDesign documents. The discussion board is for your final. So let me go back to the module, and that's your final poster critique. The same thing applies. What did decide? Okay. So you're going to attach the final version of your poster, and you have to at least comment, you have to comment on at least 2 of them with the criteria that you saw from the first critique. Okay? So you should have already finished your Photoshop assignments and gotten them uploaded too. Those were due on the 26th. You should have done your filter and text exercises. So the only thing left as far that I've moved is your poster. Just giving you a little bit more time to do that. If you hear barking, that's my dogs. Hopefully you won't hear it in the background. Okay, let's move on to Illustrator. Now, Illustrator, you're going to have 3 lessons, and you were to start those last week, getting those downloaded. Just to make sure we're all on the same page, the Illustrator files are from the original book. All right, so the Photoshop files were from that separate book, that Photoshop book. Now we're back on the original book. And I already downloaded mine previously, and I showed you how, but let me bring it over here. So here's all my lessons. So this is it's called AI 01, 02, 03. There's only 3 of them, okay? But inside each one, they're like nested a little bit. So even though this is there's 3 lessons, within those lessons, there are several smaller lessons that you'll work on following what the book explains, all right? And I think I opened that, I didn't mean to, but, so, yep, there it goes. All right, let me get rid of this, because we don't need that. All right, so you've got A1, 03, 02, there's 03, 03, there's a version of it done, 4 and 5. All right, same thing with 2. So there you go, 04, 02, 04, 03, and then 3, 05, 01, 05. Okay, so that's pretty much, you're going to do these 4 here. Okay, all right, when you're done, you'll do the same thing. This overrides any other thing that you find in Canvas for this class. You will do the same thing that you did with your InDesign files. Now, I want the Illustrator files themselves. I want to be able to open them not as a JPEG, not as a PDF. I want them Illustrator native. All right. So you need to save them as native, then compress them, and I have that. I have that information. I believe I put it under InDesign. If I didn't, I will put it in there. I have where I show you how to do the compression, but I want the native files, not JPEGs, not PDFs. I know there was some discussion on that with InDesign, and I apologize for that. But it'll be easier for me to go in and see and look at all the great work that you've done. So make sure that you compress them, your native files, and attach them to your your Illustrator exercises here. All right. And I will update this as well to tell you, just to make sure you understand. But just so we're all clear, native files, not JPEGs, not PDFs. All right. So let's see. I'll review the Illustrator. Okay, your logo assignment. I know there was some confusion about the logo assignment. Let's go back. You do not have two separate logo assignments. There's only one. It is the sun logo. All right. So open this first, and it'll tell you a little bit more about it. What you're basically going to do is you're going to come up with your version of what you think CBS News Sunday Morning sun logo should look like. All right. So here's kind of the outline. You'll do your thumbnail sketches. Then you'll critique those thumbnails, just like we did for the others. You'll post them in discussion board. All right. Template provided. So you'll click onto this. All right. So let's download this. I'm gonna save. Let me open this up so we can look. Hang on with me. All right, so this is the size of the logo. Okay, now let's see. Where are the layers? Yeah, there's only one layer. So in this template, your logo must fit within this borderline here. So make sure you download that template and work from that. All right, okay. So create your logo, 8.5 by 11, but the logo is within that 6 by 6 foot area on page. Or inches, no, 6, yeah, foot, okay. And you use what you learned from the Illustrator assignments. That's what's building up your skills to be able to create these your sun logo, all right? Here's some more information that you can do. Look at cooler color. That's really great, and color lovers too, because it'll give you a color scheme where you can actually match colors based upon complementary, or you can do them side by side on the wheel or complete opposites of the wheel, that sort of thing. These help you with coming up with a color theme. They're really great. I use them all the time. Okay, here are a couple of final logos that you can download and look at. Oh, it's a broken link. Okay, I'll have to relink those. Okay, I'll relink those. All right, so make sure you download this template. And like I said, it is in under the modules. Let me close this Photoshop thing again. Project Sun Logo. All right, now this is your thumbnails. So you're going to do your thumbnails like we did for the poster. That's due on the 14th. It's a minimum of 10. Okay, it's even on here. So on the 14th, you're going to critique your logo thumbnails. You're going to post 10 of those. Post 10 of your own. You're going to pick 2 and comment on that and say, I think number 1 and number 3 are my best. what do y'all think? And then others, if you will comment on that and say, no, I like number 4, or I think number 3 is really cool, that sort of thing. So that's what I'm looking for, is that conversation. Build that conversation. Talk about the different styles and techniques that you are looking for. You're also, remember, the 14th is your final poster critique on that. So, and like I said, to serve as a reference, please place a number in the bottom corner of each thumbnail. That way we can go back and say, oh, number 2 looks wonderful, or I like number 6. But we're only asking for 10, so this will be a little bit easier. All right. So you'll do that. Then you'll have your Illustrator exam and your lessons in Illustrator. They're due on the 16th. And woohoo, in a couple weeks it is Thanksgiving. And I bet y'all are happy to see that come. So on your logo, once you put in your thumbnails, your first critique on your logo is not due until we come back from Christmas break. So we have the critique logo on the 28th. And basically we're doing the same thing. You take what people have commented on and what you get from here. You pick 2. Then you work on those 2. And both of those you're going to post again. We're going to critique it again. I don't have it in here. I'll have to put it back in here. Your critique logo 1. So let me go back to modules. Okay, we have the critique logo. And I'm going to go ahead and unlock that one. All right, let me get rid of the dates on this one. So it's already up. Okay. So that one's going to become available. So this will be your first critique on your logo. And then we're going to have one more critique on the logo, probably near the end, more than likely on the 5th. So I'll review that again and make sure that I'm not putting too much on you, but you'll take the 10, do your 10 logos, pick your best 2. You're going to post all 10, but out of those you pick your best 2 from that critique. Then by the 28th, you're going to post those 2 that you picked and have worked on, post those 2, and then you need to critique on 2 others. All right? Then make those changes. I have 11:30 here. I will change that to 12:05. Then your final will go in on 12:05. So I'm just going to go ahead and put that in now while I'm thinking of it. So we can all see it together. Let me go back to my syllabus, my schedule. All right, so we're going to change this here. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of that. And then 12:05. Pull this down a little bit. Oops. Okay, and then, all right, so out of those 2, then you will pick 1, because we're going from 10 to 2. Then after that first critique, you pick 1 from those 2, you finalize it, and you post it again, and that will serve as your final grade. Okay? So 1 from your best 2. Yeah, nope. Pick. Okay, that makes sense. So you're going to pick the 1. So you start with your 10. You're going to get comments on that. You're going to decide, of those 10, which 2 do you like the best based on how you think about it and that from your fellow classmates. You take those 2 and you'll post those for your first critique after you make changes. Then once those are done, you pick 1 from those 2. That will be your final one. Make those changes and post it to your discussion board. That will be your final. All right? All right. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. And we're going to save it and export it. All right. Close that out. So close this out. I'm going to open this up. There. So, yep, there it is. All right, now I'm going to put that in the syllabus. Go ahead and files. I need to upload a new file. That one. Crap, that went into the wrong file. Okay, no, that goes in here. There's the syllabus. Okay, now I gotta go find that file. Okay. It just landed in there. Okay, you know what? I think I'm gonna make it I'm gonna upload it again and put it in the right folder so that I can find it really easily. Okay, we're gonna put it in there. Upload. Okay, then it fixed it. Okay, update. And we're going to look at it. You get a behind the scenes look of what I do. Y'all don't see this part of Canvas. So, alright. And there you go. Okay, so that's uploaded. So that's, we got the most recent. Okay, so I believe I've got everything covered here. So one more time. Let me go back over here. All right, so your Photoshop, your poster, your Critique 1 poster is due Tuesday. Your final poster critique is due on the 14th. Everything else should already be turned in. Illustrator. Your Illustrator exercises and the exam are both due on November 16th. We've covered where to find the exercises and where to download them. And I want to express again that when you do finish them and compress them to turn in, that you make sure that they are the native AI files, not EPS, not PDF, not JPEG. What I'm saying here trumps everything else that you see in Canvas, and I will make sure that's said on the exercises itself. I want the native files, and you can compress them. I will put that compressed file video up as well. I'll put it in the module so you can see it. All right, the sun logo. That's the only logo you're doing. You're not doing a separate logo. There was confusion on that. The only one you're going to work on is the sun logo. So the information is here. Your thumbnails are due on the 14th. That's the 10. You're going to put 10 up. You're going to decide which 2 you think are best of your own. You're going to comment on at least 2 others in your class. Okay. Then you take those two. You work on those two. You're going to critique. You're going to put it in the critique on the 30th. Then others, you will pick which of those two that you want to finalize and turn as your final logo. And then others will comment on yours and you will comment on others as well. I will soon post a final logo critique assignment in here that you will see. And that one, as you can see here, is due on 12/5. All right, so you shouldn't need much time between November 30th and 12/5 to tweak whatever you need to do on that final. So it'll be due on 12/5. All right, if you need more information on Illustrator files, you can go into the instructor videos, and it's in here. There are two of them. The Intro to Illustrator and the Examples Project. I looked at both of those. They're very informative for Ms. Joyner, and they do show you how to finish them, but I don't want you, all I want you to learn from this is if you want to learn more about what you're going to do in Illustrator and some examples, you can also look at this one for examples on the Sunday morning, the CBS logo that we're redesigning. Just remember, what you're turning in is different because these videos are from, she shows them from Blackboard, so it's going to be, there's a little bit of difference from this semester because we changed from Blackboard to Canvas. So just keep that in mind when you're watching these, all right? So these are pretty good. They go over Illustrator, what you're going to be doing in Illustrator, and a little bit more about the logo if you want to watch them. All right? All right. This one, I don't think you need, because that one refers to doing your own logo. All right. That's why I keep those up, is because even though there is a little bit of old information in there, there's also some great information that you can also use. All right. So I believe, and in here, I looked at this the other day. Yeah. And here, this is the objective of the whole thing. All right. Yes, and remember, you're going to underscore the same way that we did in InDesign. All right. So if you have any questions, reach out to me. I hope this covered everything and everybody is a little bit more familiar with what they're doing for the next couple of weeks. And I will talk to you again soon. Oh, yeah, didn't expect that to happen. Okay, y'all have a great night and we'll talk again soon. All right.